It's said that Plato described Atlantis as the most powerful empire on Earth, controlling the Atlantic Ocean and posing a threat to mainland Greece. But when it comes to describing its location, Plato is hilariously vague. He tells us that it lies beyond the Pillars of Hercules, which could refer to the Strait of Gibraltar. But he also says it's in the Atlantic Ocean, somewhere near the entrance to the Mediterranean. And he claims that it sank beneath the waves 11,000 years before his time, which would place its demise around 9600 BC. So where exactly did Plato get this idea from? Was Atlantis actually a real place, or is it just a product of Plato's overactive imagination? And if it is real, where is it now? This is Atlantis, myth or truth? And what was it? Plato was a philosopher and one of the main characters in the series The Republic. He describes Atlantis as being 10,000 talents, or roughly 300 miles in length and width, with 10,000 ships in its navy and a massive army to boot. In fact, he claims it was so militarily powerful that it tried to invade mainland Greece, but was repelled by the combined armies of Athens and Sparta. Apparently, they fought a great battle against the Atlanteans at the mouth of the Nile River, where the Spartans' superior military tactics triumphed over the Atlanteans' superior numbers. And after this humiliating defeat, the Atlanteans retreated back to their island, only to have it swallowed by the sea and its people by the depths of the ocean. Now, historians agree that there's no evidence of any kind of civilization existing in the Atlantic Ocean during the time Plato describes. There were definitely civilizations in the Mediterranean like the Minoans and Mycenaeans, but they don't match up with his description of Atlantis at all. What's more, there are two glaring issues with Plato's timeline. First of all, according to geologists, the oceans weren't even fully formed 11,000 years ago. So how could Atlantis have sunk beneath the waves if there were no waves to sink it? Secondly, most of the known ancient civilizations, including those in Greece, were founded around 4000 BC. So if Atlantis really was destroyed 11,000 years before that, then surely its people would have been wiped out completely and there wouldn't have been anyone left to found any of those early civilizations. So where did Plato get such a detailed account of a civilization that never existed? Well, many scholars believe he was actually describing the Minoan civilization, an advanced Bronze Age culture that thrived on the island of Crete from around 2700 BC until 1450 BC. Plato likely got the idea of a lost, highly advanced civilization from their destruction during the Thera eruption, which devastated the eastern Mediterranean around 1650 BC. The massive volcanic eruption on the island of Thera, now called Santorini, caused massive earthquakes, tsunamis, and destroyed pretty much everything in its path. This may have been the inspiration for Plato's story, but why did he claim that it happened 11,000 years before his time instead of around 1600 BC? Well, it's possible that he was trying to make it seem older to give it more credibility. You see, Plato was trying to explain how the perfect society described in his text could have possibly fallen so far from grace as to wage war against the gods. He needed a civilization that was clearly advanced and powerful, yet ultimately doomed because of its hubris. So he created Atlantis, a word that means sorrow in both Greek and English. But if you think that erasing a civilization from history is easy, try getting rid of the pyramids. Although historians do generally agree that the Egyptian pyramids were built as tombs for the country's pharaohs, who were considered divine in human form, there's a lot that we don't know about them. What we do know comes from a combination of archaeological findings and historical records from other civilizations. But the one thing we don't know is whether or not they were built by slaves or by free Egyptians who willingly participated in the construction of these megastructures. Click here to learn more about how the pyramids were actually built, and for more videos about amazing discoveries from history's greatest minds.